What's up, everybody? What's up, Silverlicious? See where we can get a couple people on here. My wife made a post for me, and I think there was a couple questions I wanted to answer. Hope everybody's having a lovely Friday. I had kind of like I felt like it was a day off. Hey, Mom. Thank you. Um, I felt like I had a day off. I went down south and I picked up the Kubota and let's see here. Then I went all over. I went to a tire place. I didn't have time to fix my tire machine. It's like now that I got the machine back over here, I can move stuff around and actually get the tire machine out and bring it into the shop, put it up on the table and do it right. Um Things are starting to come together. It's been a lot of work. Let's see here. Um but okay. Um oh, there was one question. It's been a lot of work, but things are finally coming together. For the first time, I've got concrete. I got the mini forklift back up and running, which we're gonna have to work on that, man, because it's I put that cardboard under there and it's definitely got a leak somewhere. But we'll figure it out and we'll work it out. Um, Jessica Whistler. I saw I thought that said cow wrestler for a second. I must be dyslexic. What's up, Jessica? What's up, 82nd guy? Thank you. What's up, Kenny? Um, what's up, Big Bam Bam? Thanks, man. Been a long journey, man. I'll tell you what. And if y'all notice, I got a huge jacket and a hooded t-shirt on. It is cold down here in South Florida, or not South Florida, mid Florida, lower mid Florida, I guess. I don't even know what to call it anymore. But it is cold, cold to the point where I had frost, literally frost on my window in the morning, and it was cold, man. I should have plugged my truck in. I had to get up early. I should have plugged it in the night before, um, because it didn't want to start. I did have to squirt it with a little bit of ether, but she fired right up, ran strong all day. Um, what's up, Stanley? What's up, Sean? Corey? Um, what's up, John? Is that the John? Is that the? Are you the local kid that helps me? Um. Anyway, yeah, it was cold this morning. I had breath. I was out there pulling tires off my trailer. My hands were numb. I was freezing, man. It was a rough morning over here. First time I actually scraped like ice off of my windshield. It was kind of crazy. I don't even know if that truck's ever seen weather like that before. Um, let's see here. What's up? Corey Dean from Ohio. You're coming to South Florida next week? Whereabouts in South Florida? Man, I'll tell you what. I don't miss South Florida one bit. I don't like the traffic down there. It's just so busy. It's like I like going down there because that's where the money's at. You know, like I've always said for people asking me like, "Oh, how do you get so much copper and all this stuff?" I've always said, "Man, you got to be in the right location." Where I'm at now, in the middle of nowhere, not really ideal location for the type of business I'm in. That's why I had to go back down south to get that stuff. There's a lot of work going on down there. Um, but it's like chaos. There's just so much going on, and it's such a stark difference. Like when I come up here, you'll go out on a road and you just won't see no cars, like for miles, you know? It's really nice. But down there, man, it's just chaos. Um, the last live I had, it was hot where you were. I mean, during the day when the sun comes out, it warms up, but at night, it's been getting cold. Um, how am I feeling? I'm doing pretty good. Congrats, bud. And to 100,000. Yeah. What's up, Billy? 100,000 would be awesome. Thank you. Got my my wife. She's funny. Thank you. That's some hot tea with lemon, man. It's cold. Okay. What's up, Henry? How are you doing tonight? Now then, bud. Or can you tell me tell me Hank now too? I'm not sure. Um just to let you know, I got the furnace and the water heater all fixed and it all feels good. Are you talking to me? Um what's up, Joe? You made it to a live. Well, welcome, man. Thank you all, man. I can't thank y'all enough for the 47,000 subscribers. I remember like just trying to get to my first 1,000. It seemed like a monumental task, and it took almost a year. Um, and I always think about like, man, who are those first 1,000 people? I've said that before on a live stream, like, all the first people that got me monetized that first year when I was working kind of like I am now. I was working under a carport. That scandemic came and I left my shop. I had a huge shop, way bigger than the one I just left, and I didn't know it was going to happen. They had just sold the building, and they came to me and were like, "Oh, your lease is up, and we're raising the rent some astronomical amount of money." And I was like, what's going on in the world right now? I'm just going to go home." I put my stuff in storage, and man, what was I under there? 2.5 years, 2 years. I worked from that carport. I had a lot of fun there, though, man. Like that, a lot of what I'm doing now got started there, and I'm always thankful for the people that watched me there. And yeah, it was nice. Um, let's see. Mom and Dad love the mug. Jay Marbet, it's my Dirto's birthday, so I missed we're driving home now, but nice work on the concrete. Hello to everybody in the chat. If you recognize me, this will be my one and only message. Well, thanks for stopping by, even just to send that message, man. I appreciate it. Um, I always love the comments. Now I know it's been tough lately. I mean, I've been like busy ain't even the word, and time is like something that's not on my hands right now. And I really feel bad of not responding to all the comments, but I do read them. I scroll through, I read them real fast, but it's just tough, man. I literally work until I'm like, it's just a lot going on, man. Um, Hank is my real name, but I go by Hank, and I hate my name. You hate your real name? Oh, all right. Well, I'll call you Hank. Um, what's up, BFD? Good evening, man. What's up, E-Waste Mike? Someone just told me. Is that what they said in this thing? Someone was just talking about, am I going to put up a someone left a message. Yeah, whenever I'll post, if y'all have any questions you want me to read, either put them here or put them on the post that we put out a day before. Sometimes I just go live because I'm just like, it's actually hard for me. Like we scheduled this yesterday, and like I had so much going on, I almost didn't even make my own live stream. When you finally get permission for your new workshop, have you thought about having an e-waste section as the price of e-waste has gone up? Could be worth trying to find someone with e-waste knowledge to help you out. John's very young and could learn about it. As I said, prices are high and the gold price is going up. Love the channel. Keep up the work. So the only problem with the e-waste is around here, there's not going to be much of anything really. If I did get e-waste, I would have to find places down south to where I could get it. I don't think I'm going to find much in this area around here. You know, I'm blessed that I have a good customer base down south. And I went to the Del Rey. General Metals has two other locations where they buy from the public. Where I go in Miami, they don't buy from the public. Their hammer mill is online. They got it running. They ran some tests through it, and I seen it the other day. In February, they're looking to hire people. They need to run. I guess it takes 3 people to run this setup, so they're looking for a dedicated crew because they're having trouble finding help right now. What's up, Pickle Steve? What's up, Robert Livingston? Anyway, I seen the setup, and the guy told me, because I don't want to just go there and whip out my camera and start filming. When they get that thing running, he said I can come film it. What's up, Cross? You're gonna send relish in a couple weeks? Okay, that's cool. Send it to my my mailbox, man. Silver price has gone up. Yeah, and someone was asking me, did I ever find my silver? No. I'm pretty sure I know what happened. It just got it probably got tossed in because we were rooting around the shop packing stuff up, and if it looked like copper, it went in the copper bin because there man, we were finding stuff everywhere in there. And there's possibly a chance it's in a bin or a box, but I went through a lot of them boxes and I didn't see that jar that it was in, so I'm gonna write it off. It's sad because I had some big 50-cent size pieces in there from 600 amp and 800 amp and 1000 amp breakers, which is okay because I still have a couple 1000 amp breakers and a couple 4 and I think a couple 600s. But they'll come, man. I get that big stuff a lot. And then I have barrels of smaller breakers. Now I need to figure out how to determine the difference between the tungsten. Some people say they're tungsten, some people say they're silver. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure all that out. Um, Silver topped at $90 the other day. Wow. You as well, it seems help is less available in your area. Yeah, there's just not a lot of people out here, man. I mean, to get where I'm at, you drive like coming from down south, you'll be driving miles and you'll just see one house here, miles down the road, another house, couple miles, will be nothing. Which I love. What's up, Chuck Jenkins? CB, thanks for bringing us along your projects. Well, thanks for watching, man. I appreciate it. Um, and I'll tell you what, the guy was talking about the same address as the box. Yeah, in the description, I have a thing you can send stuff to. Oh, what's up? See you scrapping, just popping in to congratulate on your 47K. Well deserved. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Internet connection is crap tonight. You know what? I noticed something's going on. Have you guys has anyone been affected by that whole like Verizon thing? Was it Verizon that lost like most of the East Coast? Um that's crazy, you know? I always think about stuff like that. Especially like you heard what was that? Iran or something, they shut down all the internet and everybody's phone so they couldn't like call, and that's crazy cuz like your government can just turn off your phone. And now we're all reliant on this, right? This wireless thing. They shut this off and then what? How do you contact your family or your friends, your neighbors? Not many people even have hard lines anymore, you know? And with the technology they have today, they probably just shut that off too. So that's kind of, you know, crazy. Um when am I going to pour the last section of concrete? Well, excuse me. I had to wait until I wanted to wait until I got my Kubota back over here, which happened today. I went down to Palm Beach and picked it up, and I went to Kubota and got a seal kit, which was not cheap. I have something to do tomorrow and Sunday, and I didn't have time today to bring it here, do everything else I had to do, and then pull the cylinder and take it place. If I would have pulled the cylinder, I could have probably got the seals for about $100. But I went to the dealer, Kubota dealer up in Sebring, and it was like $300. But I did buy 2 spare keys. I changed the oil and the oil filter before it left, so that I bought the hydraulic filters, which turns out there's 3 of them, but they only had 2 in stock, so I go back and get the other one. I got to make sure that machine, that thing is like, when it was here, I literally use that thing almost every day, not only scrapping but around the ranch. So it's like a necessity out here. So we got to keep up on the maintenance and whatnot, and make sure that it's good to go. But now that that's here, I'm gonna do the seal tomorrow, and then I'll bring in some fill. I gotta bring the level up over there, and then we'll work on maybe next week work on the concrete. Verizon is giving everyone a $20 credit. Really, $20. Wow. That's funny. It's a $20 credit. So in reality, it's not like it's even coming out. It's not like they're sending you a $20 bill. They're just, oh, we'll just credit everybody's account $20. It's not really coming out of their like. I don't know. I think they're ripping everybody off anyway with the prices they charge. A government scam, probably. When will the Kubota be back so you can set the shop up again? It's back today. I went and picked it up. Um, and I got all the goodies with it. Wait to see what I got with it, man. You know, before I had the bucket and the forks with it, which is cool, but I got 2 more attachments with it. And what else did I get? So I wind up doing a package deal with the guy. I bought the skid steer, the 4 attachments, the trailer. So now I have a heavy duty trailer. And then I got the mud mixer, in which I also got today, came in the mail. I ordered 2 more from Mud Mixer. I bought 2 what do you call that? Start capacitors. So we have brand new ones and a backup just in case it goes bad. Seems like that's probably the only thing that's really going to go bad with it. But they do sell, like, there's whole kits, which I'll probably wind up once we get settled and making some money. I'll probably buy like the auger and the buttons and stuff like that and just have them in stock because, man, I love that machine, dude. That thing is awesome. Like, I've mixed concrete in those other mixers before, and they're cool and everything and they work, but man, that continuous thing, I'm telling you, it doesn't look like it's doing much, but it just don't stop, you know? So it's good. What else we got here? What's up, longboard? Good job on the slab. Thanks, man. It is nice. Just standing on something that's solid and not like shifting under your feet because them rocks that were on top of the slab that was there was kind of hard. I mean, you've seen them big chunks we pulled out, but it was all like uneven. So when you're, you know, it had them little rocks and you stand on the rocks, your feet, like I was always shifting and it, you know, hurting my legs, my knees. Um, you know, it was crazy. Just having a level, solid ground, man, is a game changer. Which it sounds crazy, but it definitely is, man. I do underground utilities in Panama and Verizon doing a lot of work up here. New fiber and towers going up. Oh, Unknown Games. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping by the live stream. That's interesting. So maybe someone, maybe someone, if they're doing a lot of upgrading, maybe someone hooked a line with a backhoe or something. When I used to cut concrete and do demolition, dude, I used to cut through so much wire. And back then, for the first, I cut concrete for almost 10 years, probably for the first 8 to 9 years, literally, it was the last year when I realized what scrap was worth. I watched so much scrap go in the dumpster, get thrown out. I would just leave the job and not know what happened. You know, I'd cut through a bunch of stuff. They'd pull all this stuff out. I'd be sitting there. I didn't know, you know, wasn't, I had no idea that you could take like the wires. And I remember one time I was working down in South Beach at the Eden Rock, real famous hotel. I was in the basement cutting big openings in the slab. The slab down there was 15-inch thick. So I was cutting these cubes. Like, I had to cube it up so we could pull the stuff out. Well, I pulled like 1 or 2 pieces out, and then all of a sudden I pulled this piece out and I realized I had cut through a huge pipe, which now what I'm doing, I realized it was about like a 500 or 600 MCM. Well, the Mexicans that were there that hired us to come in there and do that, they all started like running around and getting excited. And then the guy comes over to me and he's looking at the line. He goes, "Hey, man, can you go all the way down there against that wall. I guess what he did is went outside and seen where the feed was coming in. He goes, make a cut about 6 feet along that wall as deep as you can go. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Dude, they pulled out. Yeah, I used to have one in my shop. We actually got left at the dump one day. Those big roll around carts that flip. I don't know, 4 or 5 of them full of this stuff. And I'm like, man, why are they getting so excited about all this? You know, just like demo crap to me. The guy comes back the next day. I'm at the job. He hands me, I think, like $200, and he goes, "Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it." I'm like, "Wow, what'd you get for all that?" I forget what he told me, but it was like $4 or $5,000. They didn't even strip it. I'm like, "Did you strip it and clean it?" And he's like, "Nah, man. We just sold it as is. We didn't have time for that." He didn't want to tell his boss. That's what it was. So they just got rid of it real quick, which was crazy. Now I started realizing, I'm like, wow, you know, I did a lot of bridge demolition. You might not realize it, but in the bridges, sometimes they pour it in, big, big pipes, either in the slab, in the barrier walls, or just bolt it to the side of it. They'll run wires across one side to the other, and there's some big cables in there. Plus the lights on the bridge. You know, they got power them lights. There's cables in there too. And towards the end, man, I started keeping all that. We cut the section of the side of the bridge off. The crane would, you know, be picking it up. I'd walk over and reach inside that pipe and pull the cable out and coil it up and throw it in the back of my truck. And then, man, hospitals, dude. One time I shut down a whole entire emergency room, and it's not when we were cutting concrete. It was never our fault. We had no responsibility because it's not our responsibility to do the layout. It's the contractor's responsibility to know where the um, if it's rebar, if it's tension slab, which is always super dangerous. They'd have to have X-rays for that stuff. And then utilities, water, electric. I was in the basement of a hospital one time. I was cutting in a wall. I was like above my head cutting, and all of a sudden the crack, you know, that you're cutting just blew out with water, and everybody standing around. No one knew what was going on, where the water was coming from, or how to shut it off. Meanwhile, it's flooding the hospital in the basement, like bad. And so I told the guy, I'm like, well, listen, dude, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what I hit. Let me finish cutting the wall. We'll knock it down. Let's see what it is. Turns out there was a main coming in. I mean, a big one, probably 6 to 8 inches. And then in the middle of the wall, there was a T that was capped off. And then the cap, the little cap, had a little tiny, like a nipple plug. And my saw sheared that nipple off, right? And like cut it. And then everybody's standing around while the stuff is just blasting out. And they're like, oh, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to stop it. And I had, I think it was a broken pallet. I just grabbed a piece of wood and I just jammed it in there with a hammer. And then the inspector's like, oh, well, that's not going to work. That's not going to, you know, what do you say? That's not the code or whatever. And I'm like, well, I stopped the water, dude. Relax. You know, they had to literally shut down the entire block of that. I don't forget where it was, maybe in Boynton Beach or something. They had to shut the whole block down to undo all that stuff and fix it. That's crazy, man. I cut power, watch the whole floor light up under me, cutting power. You never know what's in the concrete, man. But there's a lot of copper in there, I'll tell you what. Huh. Dominique, good morning from the Netherlands. The heck was that? Oh. Lou and Shannon, hope everyone's doing well. Hey, what's up? Hope you guys are doing well. Our house internet was out for a week a couple months ago. Dag. They gave you a credit? Well, that's good. They should ever give everybody like a free month or something. What's up, Brian? Um, how long do you anticipate the shop to be completely done? Miss your outro from Kansas City. You miss my outros? Like the spare content at the end? Yeah, things have been crazy, man. I haven't. The problem is when I would do those videos, I had a bank of videos. Like you always seen videos that were a week or two behind. Now the videos are very, very close, so it's hard to do that. We'll get there. We're gonna. I need to start knocking out some more videos. Nice to see massive improvements with the cement. Damn, those were straight lines like you did in the cement. Impressed. Oh, thanks. Man, I used to cut miles of control joints. Like one of the craziest things I ever did is up in Georgia. We were doing runway patches. I mean, we were cutting out probably 20 by 20 sections. It was 18 inches thick. We were running two saws, a pre-cut and then a deep cut saw, running the big like 48-inch blade or whatever. And we basically would core holes on an angle and put these pins in there that a big front end loader, one of the biggest front end loaders I've ever seen, would come just pick this square up out of it. And then they would pour the concrete in there. And within 30 minutes of them finishing the top, they must have had a super, like to harden it really fast because them guys were like hosing it down and steam was coming off. The stuff was so hot. And 30 minutes later, I was on top of that slab with a walk behind cutting control joints, right? Now, this was at the airport not too long after like 9/11. It was kind of crazy. There's like FBI out there watching us, make sure we're not like rigging the concrete, whatever, tampering with it or anything. But we had to show up at 10 o'clock at night and we had to be off the slab, completely done, cut, poured, everything gone, removed off of the runway by 6 a.m. Otherwise, it was $10,000 a minute to redirect air traffic. So you talk about some, people like rushing you. It was crazy. Yeah, but the straight lines, dude, one time we had to do a job. Think about this. Anyone that's ever cut concrete, you'll know that there's dust involved. And if you're running a wet saw like we used to, there's slurry, which is the water and the dust mixed together. I had to do a job where they mandated you cut dry, so you couldn't have slurry, and dustless. So imagine that. And the cut, it was a control line on a bridge. It had to be a half-inch wide and an inch deep. And you want to talk about the most anal inspector I've ever seen? He got down on his hands and knees with a flashlight because we were cutting at night and had a tape measure. And those big bridges, they're like big porch sections and they just kind of bolt them together. So I was cutting the lines. They had some issues with water going down and getting in where they're all bolted together or whatever. So they had to cut this groove and put epoxy in there. And I had to straddle this line perfectly, half inch, or maybe it was an inch wide and an inch deep or something. All I know is we had a custom blade made that was huge. It was like this big. It was probably a 20-inch blade, really wide segment, right? And then I had to modify my saw. So first thing I did is I put a ski, an adjustable ski, so it'll come down and just I could ride on this ski. Then I had to make sure my pointer on those saws, there's a pointer that falls down that'll be like 5 or 6 feet out in front of you. And then another pointer right there at the back of the saw pointing straight down at your line. So you're kind of looking at them. Then I literally took concrete broom finish things and I wrapped around the guard on the saw so that the dust wouldn't come out. Then we bought this $2,000 It's called a pulse back vacuum. It was really cool. It had 3 or 5 filters, I forget, but it would suck on one filter, and then every 5 seconds, it was building back pressure and blowing back the other filters, so the filters would never clog. It was a really cool setup, and I had to mount this all on my, on a 480-volt saw. It was just crazy, and I had to put a transformer on there to step it down because I mounted the vac on there, so it was all like one unit. I had to mount all these lights on there so I could see what I was doing because it was dark as heck, even though I had spotlights. But you want to talk about this guy, like, this inspector was not having any deviation from his half inch on either side. I mean, he was down there with his ruler, just checking and everything. It was crazy, man. I had to deal with a lot of crazy inspectors like that. I used to do really big, when you're dealing with bridges, you're dealing with like people's lives, so you can't mess up, man. Um, Flatland Express, you have 9 subscribers. Well, congratulations, man. Thanks for coming by the stream. Are you planning on trying to build a channel? What I learned is consistency is the key. Whoops. I accidentally clicked on that. I'm regretting not posting more than 1 video a week in the beginning. I posted 1 video a week for like a year straight. I should have been posting like 3 to 4 videos a week. Congratulations on a 47. You'd be at 1 million in no time. Yeah, I wish. Maybe one day, man. I got some. If I'm telling you, man, there's always stuff in the works, right? I have a goal that I've been working at for years. Okay, and it seems like it's getting closer, and I'm in a better place to where I can make it happen, and I'll finally be able to show you guys why I started YouTube, what I originally started this channel for. I mean, part of it was to have the ultimate shop. That's why it's called Product Shop. It's my journey to building what I would consider the ultimate shop, like where a guy could go, or a girl, whatever, if you like working with tools, and just build or do or fix anything, right? Wood, metal, automotive, whatever you got, I want to be able to do it. Okay. And we're getting there, man. I mean, we got a good start. We're a long way off, but hopefully, if things go right, there's going to be a lot of changes to the channel for the better. It's just going to be new content, something I've been working at for a while, and it's going to be awesome. And it's going to go hand in hand with the scrap. The scrap is actually going to be a huge part of it. We're going to take it way, way to the next level. Okay. And I hope you guys are all around to see it. And I appreciate you guys that have all been here this long and been hanging out. Big day for the Netherlands darts. What the Van? I don't know what that is. Is that some type of like football, like soccer? Darts? Real darts? Dominique, you have a hobby of plastic scale models, like automotive stuff? Dude, some of them models are like really intricate and pretty impressive. Copper prices closed at 585 today. Over the past month, the copper price has risen 8%. Well, I was pretty impressed that when I went to sell that stuff, um, I got the 4.95, man. It's so close to $5, man. um, there's a fly in the house. Hey, from the UK, congrats on 47K and awesome to see your channel growing so fast. Must be great having the slab laid. Looking forward to seeing the Mega Motor Mangler when it's all set up. Ah, me too, man. I was excited when I was down there and I seen them boys are gearing up and getting that machine dialed in because that's going to be um more. Oh, what do we got here? Joe Valente. Hey, thanks for the $20, man. I appreciate it. All everybody that donates and the people that are members, man, I really appreciate you guys. I know on the members, like I don't I don't offer anything different. And here's why. Because I don't want to put out content and exclude anybody. Oh, I hear my horse in the background. He feels excluded. Although I did feed him a bunch of apples today. Um, I just put up that for anyone that just wants to support the channel. I mean, anything I make off of YouTube, donations or from YouTube itself, helps me support this channel and keep going because it does. Anyone that videos like what they do for work, and I'm not just saying scrapping any job that you're videoing what you do for work, it does take a lot of time, you know. And I always try to not just throw a camera up. I try to bring you through my thought process and stuff like that. So it does take, you know, it'll make a 30-minute job sometimes turn into an hour job, you know? So I do appreciate the donations, what I get from YouTube, and anyone just watching, I really appreciate that, and the suggestions. I've always said, man, I get so many good suggestions in the comments, different perspectives on things. I appreciate all that. But the members, I really appreciate that. And I didn't put anything on there like that's exclusive to them because I don't want to take away like I didn't I didn't put this up there to, just be like, "Oh, you gotta pay for this." If you like the content, you wanna support and help, there's a membership thing. If not, just watch the videos, man. I pump them out as much as I can. I appreciate you guys just watching, I interacting with you guys. Um, and then any little extra, it helps, man. It really does. It all goes to keeping this going. Um, where are we at here? I feel like I missed something. Um, what's up, scrapping on the fly? Have I had Steve at your new home shop? He came out here to help me move. I actually haven't heard from him in a while. Um, I just talked to someone today that was asking about him, so I have to give him a call, see how he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. I gave him that tenant. He was supposed to. He got it fixed the hydraulic leak. Had to get a new cylinder, and I thought he was trying to get like a contract to clean a couple places. So my buddy was putting up a fence once and hit communication line with an auger on a tractor, killed everything to a mall and a couple banks. They weren't impressed. He was supposed to hand dig only. Wow. Hmm. Yeah, that sounds like that could be expensive. Hope we had insurance, man. Um, I'm a bridge inspector. Some definitely get carried away. Really, a bridge inspector. So are you? And that horse is going crazy. So do you get on one of them cool looking things that like goes over the side and up under the bridge? I'll tell you what, man. When I was cutting concrete, we did a lot of bridges. Hey, Michelle, your dog's going crazy over here. Come here, Amelia. Come here. She found a squeaky toy. What are you doing? The safety marshal. She's a menace. Come here. Come here. Come and say hi to everybody. Huh? Little snort. You sound like our pigs. He sounds like our potbelly pigs. Say hi to everybody. Snort, snort, snort. Oh, okay. Go find your little squeaky. She's running around here. She's locked out of the house. Cold. We got our door shut. As you can see, I'm wearing a huge puff. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Back to the bridges. Man, when I was cutting some of them bridges, I was shocked at some of the Spalding and how rusty the rebar. I mean, down in South Florida where I was doing a lot of that stuff, it's really close to the ocean. What do you got, crazy? Oh, she got her bone. Easy. Don't tear up the wires. She got a little bone. Okay. All right. Go over there and have fun. Yeah, but I was shocked at the absolute decay of some of the bridges. And a lot of bridges, most of them will have a stamp somewhere on it, the year they were made. All these bridges that I was cutting down on 95 were like from the 70s. So, hey, what's up, Tim? How's it going up there, man? I bet it's kind of cold up in Georgia. It was freezing down here. What's up, William? What did you think of the ranch? Oh, my mom. What did she think of the ranch? Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Mom. It was crazy because we had my mom, dad, my brother, and his 2 sons. We had 5 people here, and then they all left the same day, and it was crazy because it was like you get used to having people around, and then all of a sudden there's no people around. Like I missed it. I missed having them here. What do you think of buying scrap at an auction? Well, there is an auction out here, and I'm looking into going the next one they have and looking at it. I've never bought scrap in an auction before, and I I don't like buying stuff that I can't weigh. Okay, because you know, I get paid by weight, and you're sitting there guessing. Oh, about the sneeze. You're sitting there guessing, and I don't know, man. You're like gambling. I don't like gambling. You know, when I was a kid, I used to work at a gas station right outside Atlantic City, and I would watch people. Our gas station was like the first or second one coming out of the city, right? And people would pull up and they would just sit in their car for a second, just looking, staring off into space. And I knew what time it was. They just lost everything, you know, everything. They'd come in there, be scrounging around their car, trying to get whatever, bringing out change, telling me they got to go to Pennsylvania or New York. They came from New York and they lost everything. People trading watches and jewelry for gas. You wouldn't believe the stuff you would get coming out of there. And I'd say 95% of the people I seen that were coming from casinos lost it. I probably only seen a couple people that came and were happy. that they left the casino and had a wad of cash. So I never liked gambling. I don't like gambling, man. You know, I like a sure thing. Now, you are playing the market and hoping that the market doesn't dive on you like the next day. That's why when I get big loads of copper, man, I'm on a mission to get that stuff stripped and sold the next day. I don't care about, oh, I'm sitting on it and maybe it goes up, down. No, I know when I buy that lot, I can kind of gauge of the percentage of coppers in there, and I know as soon as I buy it, as soon as I weigh it, and I know what I got, like, okay, there's this much percentage of copper in there. I'm getting this much quoted today. And look what happened that other day. Copper dropped 20 cents a pound overnight. Now she gave me 50. She only she gave me 5 cents above what she normally would have paid down there. And I even asked her, I'm like, hey, you quoted me yesterday. She goes, the market's so crazy right now. She's like, it goes up, and when it goes up a lot. And then when it goes down a lot. It's not like 2, 3 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents. It's like 20 cents, 20 cents, you know? So I got quoted that 505 the next day when the market opened up, it was 485, you know? I lost $600 like that, you know? And it hasn't gone back up to that 505 yet. Or not that I know of. It could have. I mean, I don't check it every day, but that's why, like, 20 cents, yeah, that sucked, but I still made there was still plenty of meat on the bone, you know? And I paid a little less because I knew there was burnt stuff in there. And I told the dude straight up, that because I had bought some of that right before Christmas. Um, let's see where we're at here. 8:30. What time is it now? 8:52. Wow, I'm way behind on the comments. Sorry, guys. I'm rambling. I remember back at the beginning, what you have now was far off dream, and now it is here. Well, thanks, man. Um, T. Wilkinson. Aren't you the guy that lives up in Tampa area or something? Um, how my mom loved the animals, didn't spend as much time with them as she wanted. Yeah, it was kind of chaotic here. Yeah. Uh, so my mom, like, has a crutch, and walking out in the paddock, we have 8 cows, that, will come up on you. I think one of them was coming up on on my dad. Uh, yeah, the Netherlands guy chimed in, and there was a huge professional dart final today between Netherlands guys, so darts. Professional darts? Man, there's a crazy video online of a girl sitting in front of a thing and a guy's throwing darts. Dumb. I don't know why people would put themselves in a position like that, and then the dude shoots her in the eye or throws a dart right at her freaking eye. That's crazy. Did you see the granulator Big Stack has? It's dry and separates the plastic from the copper. Yeah, I've seen it. There's a bunch of them out there. Um, he's got himself some nice equipment over there. He got a granulator. I don't know if that was his, but it looks like he got a mini milling machine and a shredder that I seen someone else built for him. Has your customers been giving you AC units? No, I haven't had any AC units. Most of my customers are electrical contractors. They really don't deal in AC. The AC unit stuff, I gotta go out there and get some of those customers. Um, Been asking politely from my people, and they said this is coming this week. They'll have something for me. Okay. Seems better than getting it wet. Well, I guess the thing about those things is I'm pretty sure there's like there's like dust and they got vac systems or something. Or I don't know. I just like the water, man. I think it looks cool going through the water. I mean, I'm not opposed to trying one of them machines or having one, but I have uh I have such a cool idea for a water sluice that no one's ever seen. And it's something that would be so next level and clean it in like one pass. Well, there'll be like multiple like my uh 3 trough system that I had before. It'd be kinda like that, but I wouldn't have to go in there and hand scoop it out. It would separate it and dry it all by itself and not be dusty, you know? I don't know how much dust that thing's off. Um, Looking forward to seeing the shop set up again and wire stripping and some micro scrapping. Well, I got tons of micro scrapping to do, man. There's been scrap piling up, and, lately, I just been doing all the big stuff, so there's still micro scrap sitting on that table. That table, even though it's out, it's still never cleared. Clearing that table is like a full-time job, man. Um, but yeah, we're gonna get back up under there. Um, my brother was a beast helping you. Yeah, man, I appreciate that so much, man. 41 degrees in East Tampa. Holy cow. We know where you live. We will be back. 35 here, was 19 this morning, still no jacket. You're crazy, dude. I mean, I I'm wearing pants right now, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, and a big jacket. And the only reason I think I'm not really cold is because I got these muffs on that are keeping me. There's like having earmuffs on. The only time I've been to AC, I filled my tank when I got there, so I knew I could get home. That's great thinking, man. uh, I hate to gamble. The guy who taught me about painting business was a bad guy. He had a brand new house with no furniture in it. He used to sit on the floor and have lunch. Wow. 585 today for copper? Where's that at? Someone paying 585 or is that the COMEX? Cool seeing the highest copper prices ever on this channel. Man, dude, I I just keep thinking, I'm like, wow, what if we had these prices 10 years ago when I was rolling in transformer copper, man? Even though it's not bright and shiny. When I started scrapping, I'll never forget this. We took 5-gallon buckets to a scrap yard. We got $1.69 a pound for number 2 copper. And I was blown away that we got even that, right? And for number 2 copper to be 4 what'd I get? 470 something last time I took it? That's just crazy, you know? I used to bring in 2 to 3 55-gallon drums of copper a week at almost 800 pounds of drum. You fill a 55-gallon drum full of transformer copper, You can squeeze about 800 pounds in there. And yeah, I was doing a lot of that stuff, man. It's just so sad where the world is going. We're going to we're getting more and more into a throwaway, like, it's not nothing is made to, like, fix, maintain, or last. It's sell you something that you might get a couple years out of. Like, they're engineering this stuff to where it's either gonna break, defect, whatever, but you're gonna get a couple years about it, you gotta buy a new one. It's like these LEDs. They sold all these parking lots on these LEDs. Oh, these LEDs, 10 years with warranty and blah, 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 maintenance free, blah, blah, blah. They're not lasting. I don't care what you put up there, man. It ain't handling direct lightning strikes. Down here is the lightning capital of the country. You know, the storms in the summertime and the rainy season are crazy, you know, let alone hurricanes on top of it, right? So you got these LEDs, they're nice when they're new, but man, after a year, they don't have glass lenses like the HIDs, which I just picked up some of the biggest HIDs yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. Big doubles, double 1,000 watters. Okay. The transformers better be in there. I'll be pissed if they're not. Um, but I went and picked up these monster lights the other day. Wait till you see them. Well, I got distracted. I distracted myself thinking about them big 1,000-watt transformers. um, oh yeah. Anyway, they have glass because I went to pick them up and the guy stacked them down and the glass broke on the glass. The LEDs have like these plastic lenses. And what happens like with all the new cars and the plastic headlights? They get dull. The LEDs, I've had them where the LED has gotten so hot, it's melted them. Oh, come on. I'm going to let you. I know you're probably cold. Hold on one second. I got a dog in. Oh, come on. Let's go. Okay. She's been out here just terrorizing the place for like 30 minutes straight. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, but those like the HIDs that I picked up the other day. You could get parts for them. You can get the lenses, the frames. You can have them made, the ballast changeable. You can get them manufacturer, aftermarket, all kinds of different ways, right? The lamp, same thing. The sockets, every part of that light, you can get the parts, you can retrofit it, you can build it from other parts. You could, they're all basically the same. Those HIDs, you could take parts out of one light, put in a totally different style light. They all kind of work. You can make them work. The LEDs, nope. The way they're designed, the LEDs, the actual board, you see me take them off. They're like on a plate of aluminum. They're like, you're not going to take it out of one different manufacturer and fix another one. The drivers are all different. They got like so many milliamps. They're basically designed to run these 3 sets of LEDs. So you have to get that specific driver for that light from the manufacturer. And they're like fly by night, a lot of these people. You'll get them, they'll be gone. You can't get parts. You got to throw the thing away. It's really, really messed up, man. I mean, I'll take them. I'll take them and scrap them, no problem. But it's just not what I would call high value scrap, because you have all that heavy cast aluminum, but that's pretty much it. You got to pull the driver out. And if there's plastic, oh my God, the amount of little screws that you have to do. The air chisel does a good job on it, but They're just not worth. I don't like them, man. Honestly, I don't like nothing about the LEDs. Matter of fact, my wife went around inside the house. We removed all the LEDs in the house because they're not even healthy for you. Like if you actually look into it, um, we were doing a bunch of PNC banks while my customer was, and I was following them around, picking up all the old. They were doing the parking lots and the inside, so I'd go come pick up all the fluorescent lights and all the HID lights from outside. They stopped halfway through the project, and they had like I don't know 10 more banks to do. They had to, do a change order and revamp it. They were like, "We don't want these bright." It was the LEDs inside the building were giving all the employees headaches. They had to, um, you know, they had to. I think they actually went back and put different, like darker reflectors in there, so they had problems. All I know is they stopped on the inside stuff, and we continued doing the outside stuff for a while, and then that kind of stopped. But pretty much for me down here, all the customers that I have done all of their plazas and lots. There's still some plazas I see out there with HIDs, but I don't know who's maintaining them. But all of my customers, I mean, for probably 4 or 5 years before I was even on YouTube, we were, well, I can't say that. Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 years before YouTube. I was already changing out whole parking lots, you know? Like I had been doing that years before I even got on the YouTube. Not like when I was at the other house, my last shop and at my house, I did the most amount. Like it was just coming in hot and heavy. Everybody was changing them, and I had so much of that work. I would hire Oliver, his dad. I would have his dad bring in like his uncle. So I would bring in 3 people on these jobs, and we'd either go on site and break them down. Sometimes I'd go by myself and do it. Those were the best. Those were the best days because a whole parking lot full of aluminum and transformers, once you break down the transformers, it might take 2 or 3 days, but usually it'd be like 4 grand. I loved those jobs, and it got me out, man. I'd go different towns, Orlando, Daytona, all over the place, man. So, um, let's see. Oh, my glass Coke. Thank you. Um, let's see. So micro scrapping in effect of 2026. Is your helper working out for you? Um, yeah, he's had a problem getting here. He had a ride issue or something. But I'm the first of the year it's kind of starting slow, but we're gonna start cranking up and definitely gonna need some more help. In Indiana, if it's 45 degrees this time of year, we wear shorts and a t-shirt. Dag, dude. Um, try to do what I could do. Me and my boys had a blast. Yeah, I wish I'm hoping next time my family comes down, I ain't got a bunch of work for them to do. It was a I'm truly thankful, that they came and helped. But maybe next time they come, we can just relax and enjoy a little vacation. Um, When I was around 12, my mom took me to the scrapyard and I got my first $20 bill. I held it in my hand and thought I could hear angels singing. Dag, dude. What'd you get $20 for? Um, Me and my partner were talking about we are the last generation right now. When our kids have kids, please have done your job, everyone, because we are headed downhill. Wow. Well, I hmm, I got a lot to say on subjects like that, but I'll be nice and not. All I'll say is, yeah. Have you seen the thing where all the teachers are quitting? They're like, the kids don't want to learn, they don't care, and the parents don't give a crap either. It's it's um it's kind of sad, man. Um yeah, but and a lot of it has to do with like the actual what they're teaching and how they're teaching. I hated school. I've probably said this before, but I never finished high school. Not that I was dumb or not that, I didn't have a brain. I didn't like it. I didn't like the authoritarian way they were just I don't like people telling me what to do. I like learning. To this day, I love learning, man. I love experiencing things. I'm the type of person like if I see something and I don't know how it's made or the process or this, I want to know. If I see a piece of equipment, I want to know how it works, and I'll research it, I'll learn, and and all the trades. Like I like, me, I could do just about anything I want, trade wise. I'm not a master at any one trade, but I've dabbled in a bunch of them and I can do it. And if you put me on something, you know, get me, teach me or just show me, or I just watch you and then I start doing it myself. I mean, pretty soon I'm going to be as good or better, because I'm constantly thinking, how can this be done faster, better, more efficient? Whatever, what are all the tricks? That's what I like to know. I like watching videos where people are doing something and like a master of their craft. There's someone that does that job every day. They know all the shortcuts. They know how to make everything easy. And you watch people that do that and they make something that someone would struggle with look so easy. And I love that. I love watching um just the little things, the little details that most people wouldn't see or realize that makes it the next level, you know what I'm saying? And years ago, um, when I worked at a restoration shop, the guy told me, I learned a lot from this guy. And he said, a lot of times the old heads or masters of their craft, they're not just going to outright show you and give you the answers or show you exactly how it's done. One, it's job security, and two, you know, whatever that, some people are just grumpy old men and don't want to show you. But if you just sit back and watch or ask the right questions, but mainly sit back and watch. And I've done that my whole life. If I see someone working, I like to just watch and see what they're doing, and for me, pretty quickly I can determine whether the guy's a hack or he's just a skilled guy, master of his craft. But putting a bunch of kids in a building that looks like a prison and feeding them food that looks like it came from a prison, probably the same company supplying both, is not really enticing. Oh man, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. John Brewer, thanks for the membership, man. I appreciate that. John Vellante, thanks for the $20 donation. Is that a second one from you? And John Brewer, thanks for the $10, man. Man, I appreciate that. Have to take my wife out for hibachi. There's a great hibachi place, and just it's a Japanese Chinese restaurant in Sebring. And man, you can go there. We took my family there. My mom, dad, my brother, and his 2 kids. You get a great meal and a show, and it's reasonably priced. It's not like Palm Beach prices. I love going there and getting hibachi. Maybe I'll take my wife there with that, man. I appreciate it, man. I mean, pretty much the YouTube goes and funds some of this, and helps me. Um, it does help me put out the content because, like I said, it does take a lot of work. Um, let's see here. Sound like an old man getting up, letting the hound in. Thanks, dude. I had a rough day, man. I sat in my truck and drove around everywhere. I'll tell you what. Um, Driving can be an exhausting venture. I don't know how them truck drivers do it. I guess they got them nice comfy chairs and they're just kind of floating there, and they got them. But driving my truck, I need a new clock spring, and I need to get my cruise control fixed because I it's starting to bother my knee in my old age because I abused myself. I used to do cross country, track and field, BMXing was probably the worst thing I could have done to my knees. And riding dirt bikes and four wheelers and stuff, crashing, jumping, doing dumb stuff, as a kid, starting to feel it, you know. Um, but yeah, I had a long day, man. I literally was moving and doing and everything right up into this stream. Oh man, what is this? What do we got here? John Vellante with the $100 donation. Hibachi for sure. Ha! Hey, thanks, man. Dude, that is awesome. Where's my wife at? Hey, we're definitely going hibachi. Thank you, man. Now I gotta get out there and crank out some content for you guys. I got a video coming tomorrow morning, and I'll be shooting a video tomorrow. Um, and probably Sunday. So let's see. Come on, everyone. Who scraps like Derek online? The answer is nobody. Well, there's, I mean, I don't know. Are we talking like pound for pound or just raw scrapping? I don't know. See, I probably like copper, and I I I feel like I have to say this a lot because there's a lot of people that still in the comments call me the Copper King. I've never once called myself that. I call my machines, those 2 tables that are gonna get merged here in the next week or so, the Copper King, okay? Because it's the king of removing copper out of stuff. I don't consider myself the Copper King. I don't talk to myself in, like, the 3rd person like that. But I appreciate that comment, dude. I hustle to try to stay on top of the copper game. Um, R. Cook, good on you. Congrats. Thanks for sharing your content. Thank you for watching. I appreciate watching and the comments. I really do appreciate it. Hit the like button, everybody. He's literally a scrap guy. I know it might be awkward seeing his personal stuff. I try not to put out like personal stuff. But everything I do is kind of like, well, it's weird because I know most of the people that watch my channel are there for the scrapping content. And I know I have like I'm not trying to like compared to like a lot of people, I have just equipment and stuff that nobody has, or um because a lot of it's like homemade, and yeah, I seen a comment one day, and the guy was like, "Project Shop is the scrapping channel that other scrappers watch." Um, which I guess if everyone's watching this channel, I mean, you all got to be scrappers, you know. We love that scrap money, man. I don't know what it is about scrap, and there's such like for people that don't scrap, they don't understand like the what it is. Like, one, we're recycling, you know? Us scrappers, people, all you guys in the chat that scrap, the other scrapping channels, the people, just the random people I see at the scrap yards, right? We probably do more to like save this earth than all those people driving around in their fancy um electric vehicles, and you know all these people that they recycle their plastic bottles and stuff like that, which is, you shouldn't be drinking out of plastic bottles anyway. But um, we actually are doing something. We're taking stuff that usually would go to the landfill, fill up the landfill, and it's being repurposed. So it's not such a strain on the actual raw materials coming out of the earth. We're actually reusing the stuff. We're creating a job for someone to process this stuff. It's a whole industry. I think the scrap industry is like billions of dollars. It's got to be, you know? So I don't know, man. People think that, oh, those scrappers, they're all meth heads. Let me tell you something, man. And I always thought it was funny when I would get comments like, oh, you know, I'm stealing copper, or I'm a meth head because I'm scrapping copper. It's like, okay, you think there's scrap yards, hundreds of them in every state. You think everybody is a meth head? The people that run the scrap yards, like I don't get that. There's a lot of people, a lot of good people that scrap. Now, there is those, because and this is the other thing about the scrapping that I like. It's quick, easy money. It's the only job that I know. Maybe there's other jobs out there that you can do this, but it's the only job that I know that you can get paid 6 days a week. And the harder you work, the faster you process it, the less you handle it, the more money you're going to make. So you can make as much money as you want to work for. You gotta have a hustle. You gotta have an angle. Now it is. I'm going to tell you straight up, and I've said this many, many times. It is not easy getting electrical contractors to sell you their copper. Okay. Excuse me. Even my customers, they'll call and get prices and then call me to make sure that, I'm paying them a reasonable amount. The transformers I used to do years ago, and one other service which I've never shown on the channel, which I got to do something here, which I might. I think it's time because it's not going to be around much longer. That service. I'm probably going to show you guys something that most of you've probably never even seen, and I've never shown on the channel. But it's interesting for sure, and used to be a decent gig, but it's just not so much anymore because of the change in times. So you got to adapt. You got to adapt and overcome. Um, so that's what we're doing now. Right now, we're trying to adapt because I'm not gonna lie, man. It's been the past couple years, the past year in particular has been really tough because a main source of my income just disappeared. Remember those early videos back over at the other carport? Piles of transformers, man. That was my bread and butter. It'd be weeks, sometimes a month before I see a transformer come in here. Although I am supposed to go look at, the guy did say it's copper. He said he's got a copper transformer from an electrical supply house that they want to sell. And I told the guy on the phone, I'm like, okay, I'll come take a look at it, but we're going to check the coils and most likely it's going to be aluminum. He goes, oh, no, it's copper. I'm like, okay, we'll see. Very rarely do you get those that are copper unless it's a government job. The basic ones that go out, usually they're aluminum. I seen a guy the other day. He was like, oh, he's like, I got a secret way of getting, or not a secret way. He goes, oh, I got a way of getting the paper. I don't know why he would take the paper off the aluminum or even the copper. I seen he took the paper off of the copper windings. To me, a total waste of time. Just take the number 2 copper. He tried to upgrade it to, I don't even think that would be considered bright and shiny. It might be. I think it's too hard though. It's like a number 1 copper, technically, but you could probably sneak it in there. That's actually very interesting. Next time I get a copper transformer, I'm going to take the big, I'm talking about the big ones with the flat bar, not just the round little ones like the HID ones, but the flat bar transformer. I'm going to take it down there and see if I can't get him to shoot that with an X-ray gun and see if it's actually pure enough to be bright and shiny, or if it would be a number 1, like a bus bar, number 1 bus bar. There was somewhere I was going. I distract myself, man. Let's see what we got here, man. But Joe, man, I really appreciate the donations today, man. That helps out a lot. It's been kind of slow on YouTube. We hustled through what my wife called Scrapmas, December. We did a video every single day. I think one day we were late, but I think we made it up the next day. We did a video every day and shorts. One short a day, sometimes 2. That was a lot of work on me and my wife. So we really do appreciate the donations, man. The video day, that's hard to keep up with, but we're going to be probably every, 4 to 5 videos a week, I think is what we're going to try now. And some shorts. Maybe I'll drop a short in between. Are you gonna have to paw print every raccoon in the neighborhood to ID the one that left the tracks? Ha! Yeah, maybe. As a matter of fact, thinking back, the way there was a tail drag mark, someone did mention possum. I think it was actually possum tracks because I did see one out there one day. I was sitting there working and I heard like an aluminum can being like rattled around. I turned a corner and look inside my shop. There's a possum digging into what was it? A Dr. Pepper can. Um where are we at here? Marshmallow, ready for your TIG lessons? What's up, dude? Yeah, man. That's the one welder I don't have, dude. Well, I don't have a stick welder. I'm not fond of stick welding. I got a big Miller 250X, I think. I do all my heavy welding with, but I do want a TIG welder. I want to get in there and do some fine. Man, you know what I really want to do is TIG weld copper. Man, I seen some guy laying some bead down on some copper. I think you got to use like helium when you're welding copper, but it looks so beautiful, man. I love when they weld um, stainless steel and they're just stacking dimes. Yeah, man, I'm ready for some TIG lessons. If you learn a new thing a day, it's a great day. Teachers want to program kids today, and kids are learning that the teachers are B. Yeah, not teaching anything they can use. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I spent years learning a bunch of crap that I didn't need to learn. Just filling you up with, they're wasting your time, is what they're doing. Reading, writing, math, and then let the kid decide what he's into. Oh, can you guys hear that? Let me turn my mic up. You guys probably can't hear that. I'm gonna have to get a parabolic mic. That's the coyotes out there. Man, I feel like they're getting closer. That's crazy. All right. It's kind of getting chilly out here. I gotta go help my wife with something. Um Anyone wants to battle in the super chats? Let's go. um Again, John, I appreciate that donation, man. Sucked missing the last True Lies. Well, this one we tried to put out. Um, we tried to put out a little advance. We'll try that. Watch out for the LG pods. They are considered sheet iron now. My junkyard will not accept them for pods considered sheet iron. LG pods. What's that? Kim Jason Kedley. What's up? I'm not sure what an LG pod is. Sheet iron. Huh. I'm 67 and I'm getting ready to start a small engine shop this spring. Well, good luck. What was that? Stanley King? Good luck, man. I think here's the deal. I think everybody should be working for themselves or like have a family business or something. If more people would just start a business and stop relying on chains, like just say stupid stuff like Jiffy Lube, right? Or the big chain oil changers and the tire place, Tire Kingdom and all that stuff. Man, start up a little local guy and support a little local guy and give him a job. Like we need to start like that, man. Because what's happening is these chains, they're getting all gobbled up by bigger. They're all probably already owned, and they're just consolidating stuff. And then they got you by the balls. Look what happened during the scandemic, right? They mandated people working at like Target, Home Depot. Oh, you got to wear, a mask or this and that. They mandated their employees to do something, and then just think of how many people lost their job because they didn't want to do this or that. Everybody should start looking into starting their own little thing. That's good on you, man. I hope you wish you great success on that. Um, right down the street from my old shop, a guy had a small engine repair thing, and he was always busy, man. Tons of generators, pressure cleaners, concrete mixers, all the small engine stuff, weed whackers, lawnmowers down here. lawn maintenance is huge. So there's like tons of lawnmowers, man. Ride in Florida. What's up, man? Brooksville, Florida, checking in. Thanks, man. Most here in the chat, I bet if went finished, were in public schools raised. If you went to private, religious, or homeschooled. I mean, personally, if I ever have a kid, we'd be homeschooling. Any college graduates? Someone was making fun of. There was such a good. I think it was a comedian. He was making fun of all the people that went to college for all these weird things, man. They have such weird stuff people can go to college for now. Man, what kind of writing is that? Is that Chinese or something? No, that looks different. That doesn't look like Chinese. Okay. All right, I'm gonna blow through these things real quick, man. Then I'm gonna have to wrap this up. I just wanted to get on here today and thank you all for the 47,000 subs. That is huge, man. Like I said, man, I just remember trying to get to my first 1,000, and to be here at 47,000, I honestly never thought it'd be like that, and we're still climbing. I mean, it's it's always uphill, but it's like levels off, goes up, levels off, and a lot of it has to do with how often I post. But man, 50,000, man, here we come. You know what? The cook was trying to get me drunk. Oh, my wife. Um, um, yeah, I mean, I had a fun time with my brother and my mom here. That was great. My, his kids and my dad and everybody. It was just, it was great. I kind of wish they could have stayed longer. You went 4 days without dropping a video. Thought I'd have to come make sure you were all right. Ha! Ha! Yeah, sorry about that, man. You know, man, it was a lot dropping a video every day. It's a lot of work, man. I mean, even, um, you know, it's a lot of work over here. Keeping up with all of this, the scrapping, trying to do all the projects to advance and shooting videos. It's definitely a lot of work. That's why I appreciate all you guys. Yeah, don't worry about the scrap content. It's not going anywhere. Even with the next venture I have coming, which if I can get that rolling and we get that set up, it's gonna be next level. I mean, really cool stuff. And thanks, Jimmy. I watch every video you have. And I watch you because you work your butt off. Keep up the good work. I'm from Connecticut. Dag, I bet it's really cold in Connecticut right now. Other scrap channels mention me all the time. Well, I appreciate the shout outs from them. And yeah, if y'all on here have a scrap channel, I'm probably subscribed to you. I try to subscribe to all the scrap channels. Now there's so many of them. Obviously, I can't sit here and watch them all. I try to thumb through them and, you know, see what everybody's doing, but I don't even like I like watching machining channels, stuff with CNC machines or milling machines and lathes. Um, who's that guy? Keith Rucker, the guy that does the old machines. Um, I like Titans of CNC, cutting edge, engineer in Australia, Inheritance Machining, This Old Tony. Like those are the channels I like watching. I don't even get to watch them, because I'm so busy right now. You know, if I could sit down and watch stuff for an hour, that's like a blessing. But I do try to scroll through and check out some of the other scrapping channels, see what everybody's doing, and I just like to see different processes of, like if I like to watch people. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. The guy that was breaking down um transformers, he broke down these big transformers. I don't even know why, because the aluminum ones, in my opinion, aren't worth it. Um, but he had the aluminum cores from electric motors, right? Like from a fan motor, how it's the metal, and then it's got the aluminum like molded, melted into it. And he goes, "Oh, I got a great way of getting these out real simple." And I'm like, "Wow, I got to watch this." Well, the guy basically just built a fire and burnt them and melted the aluminum out, which is something that I'm hoping I can do with my incinerator. Um, but the fact that, I'm like, "Oh, great, I'm gonna learn something." And then he just cooked it. I'm like, "Ah, this guy took the easy way out, you know?" Um, Meth ain't that bad. Don't knock it until you tried it. Well, I'm good, man. I did all the fun stuff probably from the age of, don't tell my mom, 12 to like 19. After 19, that's it. I was done. Quit drinking, smoking, any extracurricular stuff I was doing at the time, and just been trying to do right by myself and, do the right thing. I don't do anything intentionally that's gonna get me in trouble. I still find some trouble here and there, but it ain't like, people think I'm going out stealing or I'm doing something right. No, I ain't doing anything that's gonna harm another person, you know? That's the way I live my life, like, don't do anything that's gonna affect someone, like, you know? I mean, if you got a soul and a heart, you obviously know what's right and wrong and try to do right. Um, Marshmallow, you're the only one who shares the real trade secrets to make a living at it if you're willing. There are people who do way more volume, but they are not sharing, usually grandfathered into um some insane accounts. Yeah. Yeah, I mean there's people out there that got some nice accounts, customers, and you know, we'll get some really nice accounts one day. But yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that, because probably my first 10 years or so of scrapping, I didn't let nobody know what I was doing, because I was doing so much volume of those transformers, and that's all I was doing. I didn't buy copper wire for like almost 10 years. I didn't buy copper wire. I was in the scrap business and could care less about copper wire, because when you're buying copper wire competitively, like competing with the scrap yards, there's not, you're gaining like a third if you're lucky. So for every $1,000 you spend, you might gain 300 stripping it, or if you're buying it and selling it, now your margins are even tighter, like you're buying 1,000 pounds of copper stripped. you'd be lucky to get 30 cents a pound. You're not making $1 a pound unless the people you're getting it from are okay with you not paying them a lot. Most of my people, they know what the stuff is worth, and I gotta be competitive. So, I gotta come with a correct price. Well, transformers, way different, man. You buy $1,000 worth of copper transformers, I could turn that into 3,000 in hours. You know, I mean, I've made the video how to make $900 an hour processing copper transformers, and now the title says $900 an hour, but if you go back and watch the breakdown that I did, and I did everything on camera, I showed how fast the machines were running, and I did it by myself, but I showed with the proper, running 2 people or whatever, running those machines with 2 people, those machines were actually operating at about $1,200 an hour, so that leaves you like, $300 an hour for fuel, labor, time traveling to go pick it up, you know. Um, I say this all the time. There's no scrap like double copper transformer scrap. The ease in which I was getting it, how I was transporting it, picking it up and weighing it, how I was processing it and selling it off. There's no scrap that even compares, you know. I mean, it was literally when I got into scrapping, I had the easiest. I felt I now looking back, I'm very blessed for how I got into scrapping. It wasn't, and I'd show up to the scrap yard and I'd see these guys coming in with these trucks, and I just didn't understand how they were making money driving around picking up refrigerators and lawnmowers off the side of the road, barbecue grills. It didn't make sense to me because the um the volume and the profit that I was making off of just one product. And when I would get some random stuff and take, sheet steel in, I'd be like, you know, even now today, I don't even know what steel is. I haven't sold steel in the new year yet, but 6, 7 cents a pound. I'm like, man, this is just not where it's at. I mean, God bless you if you're making money getting steel. I think the only way you're gonna make money with that is if you're getting it for free and just you got a route and you know where to find stuff. The dumpster diver people, I mean, God bless them. Now I will say I've been shocked at some of the stuff that them guys find, you know, but to me, that's almost like gambling again. You hit a bunch of dumpsters, you could find nothing, burn a bunch of fuel, or you could find a great score. And the dude Brian that used to work for me, he was all about them dumpsters, man. And I really never understood it because in my mind, like every time he'd go, he'd come up with some little things here and there. Just about every time he went in a dumpster, he came out with something. But in my mind, it was like, well, it's not worth jumping in there and getting dirty. And at the time, I'm like, man, I don't want you jumping in that dumpster. Who knows what they threw in there? And then you're jumping in my truck, you know. But don't get me wrong, I've jumped in a dumpster before. Man, I pulled out like 300 pounds of wire one day. You know, I pulled out. I had my crane. I got my truck close enough. I pulled out a 400-pound electric motor out of a dumpster once. I pulled out all them big round discs I got, the big 2 and 3-inch thick discs. I pulled them out of a dumpster. I've used that steel many times for different things, you know? But is that a viable way of making a living? I mean, some people are lucky. What's that? Mike the Scavenger. I think he probably makes more off of YouTube than he does diving in the dumpsters. Um, and I got nothing against it. God bless them people. They're out there. They're making a money. They're not stealing. Someone threw that stuff in the garbage. So good. Let them get it. It's just I didn't see in my mind like I would rather just go. pay some money for some what I call premium scrap, you know? There's different levels to scrap for me, and I like copper, which is to me a premium scrap. And, you know, I just never found enough of it in a dumpster or on the side of the road, you know? The people that go around and they follow the trash days or the bulk trash, you know? I mean, I've seen them guys get some nice stuff, and I've seen people push out nice stuff. I mean, I got a cool three-wheel bicycle one time that I restored. I wish I had pictures of that. It was a old rusty blue bike, and when it was done, it was black with pink pinstripes and all decked out with LEDs, and it looked tricked out, but, you know, it's like turning trash into treasure. But, um, scrap metal is a $900 billion industry? Holy cow. Oh, but back to that comment, man, I get off on a tangent. Now I'm getting tired. I gotta get off here and go help my wife with something. In the beginning, when I was doing those transformers, I never let anybody know what I was doing. And I never showed anybody my process, probably for 10 years. And when I started YouTube, if you look at my first couple of videos, they had nothing to do with scrapping. And then one day, if you look at the first few videos, all of a sudden there's a video on there that says, um, I think it's how to scrap a transformer the hard way, and then how to scrap a transformer the easy way. And that was I made that video after that guy in that video showed me a video titled "How to Make $40 an Hour Scrapping Copper Transformers." And the guy was beating it with like a hatchet or a hammer. And I looked at that video and I was like, wow, that reminds me of the first time I ever broke a transformer. And then I'm looking at my presses and I'm like, wow, if they could see what I'm doing and the volume and the process, that probably because all the comments in that video were like, "Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for showing me." Or, you know, it they were praising the guy, which is good because he was showing someone something how to do it. You know, if you didn't know how to take that welded metal apart, that was one way of doing it if you got nothing but a hammer. But then I was like thinking, wow, if they could see how I'm doing it on a cheap Harbor Freight budget, that's not a huge process like at a hammer mill with conveyors and mags and all this stuff. It's just a couple, excuse me, a Harbor Freight press and a homemade press, you know, that I was running at the time. I think I already had hydraulics, but for years before that, I was running off of a Harbor Freight 20-ton jack and a 10,000 PSI Harbor Freight foot pedal, you know, and I couldn't even tell you hundreds of thousands of transformers, you know, I mean, so many of them. I blew through those that press. It looks rode hard and put up wet is because it was. That thing has been through some stuff, man. When you guys seen it, it's already had so many repairs and, you know, 10 years of me blasting transformers through it. So, all right, let me see what else is here, and then I got to get out of here. I appreciate you guys coming by for this 47,000 view or subscriber little thing. I try to get on here whenever there's 1,000 new subscribers. You know, I try to get on here and thank you guys. Um, Jay Marbit, you used to manage a computer recycler. You get a lot of gold from that? Huh. I got a 30-gallon air compressor and a 3-ton jack in the trash, and I still have them. They work. Huh. Oh, that dude Brian used to go to Harbor Freight all the time. Matter of fact, one of the first videos I did was rebuilding the jack from Harbor Freight. He pulled it out of Harbor Freight's dumpster. And he called me up all the time. Hey man, I'm over here. I got all this stuff. Can you come with your truck? Yeah. It's crazy. We live in a throwaway society. Volume. Our smallest client was Sylvania and US Navy and Massachusetts DOT. Wow. Anyway, hope I didn't miss anything. I just want to thank all you guys for coming on here, and thank you guys that donated today, especially the guy that is going to send me and my wife to hibachi. I really appreciate that, man. I like getting the um, what do I get? Fried rice, and I get filet and chicken. I like getting them both, and I can't even finish it. I usually take it home and eat it again, but it's not as good as when they make it right there in front of you, man. Um, I hope my brother and everybody had a good time when we took them over there. But man, I appreciate that. I just appreciate everybody that came on here today, and I appreciate everybody that watches. I'm gonna crank up some content for you guys, and um, finish up some projects. I'm really excited about putting the machines back on the concrete and getting that stuff. 50K subs just around the corner, man. Yeah. Starts with J. Congrats on the 47. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm really stoked. We're about to hit that 50,000, and hopefully that kind of catapults us up, man. But I'm telling you, man, I got some really good ideas and content that I think will um catapult us up there, man. And I thank you all for coming along this journey with me. Um, you know, all the comments, good or bad. I mean, there's always some people in there talking crap, and but 99% of the comments are great. I appreciate them. I do read them. I apologize. I haven't been able to respond to all of them, but um, I do read them, and I try. Maybe I'll try to do a couple more lives and actually go through and pull some comments out that I think should be relevant. Oh, I should have changed my name down here. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. You 100K on YouTube really starts pushing your stuff off. Well, yeah. All right, we got to hustle to 100K. That's the goal, 100K. So we need more videos and more content. A variety of content. We're gonna have to step up the scrapping. We need bigger motors. Oh, I seen a big motor the other day, guys. I hope I can go over there and talk to them boys about what they're doing and maybe even get some videos from there. Non-ferrous Jeff has a lot of motors. I keep hearing that. I'm gonna have to talk to that guy. I'd love to do business with him. So that's something we'll look into. It's a new year. I gotta something I haven't done in probably 15 or 16 years. I did sales my first 6 months, and that was it. So we're gonna have to revisit that. And now some things, I might have to keep a secret. I like to show you guys all the stuff, but you know, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot and have a bunch of competition, you know, or people trying to take my customers using my own methods, which has happened. They didn't get them, but they tried. Um, yeah, but I do have. I've been thinking about sales and trying to acquire new customers and how I'm going to go about that. You know, because it is tough. Like now, I don't have a niche where I'm the only one in town that can, you know, pay what I used to pay for a certain product. That they were basically throwing away. So it was easy for me to get. No, not easy. It was kind of an uphill battle, but it was a lot easier than it's going to be now. But, you know, we're kinda a little more established and we got a good foothold and, um, you know, we're just gonna be aggressive. That's what we gotta do, be aggressive and just get out there. I haven't made those phone calls in 15 years, I gotta get on the phone. Uh, I'm shooting for 1,000 by then. Got 300. Well, good for you, man. Green text with dollar amounts on the thumbnail always hooks people. And you got, to go a long way to get 100. Yeah, I know, man. It's gonna be a uphill battle, but man, I'm here for it, dude. I ain't afraid of no work. I like the hustle, man. And when I get into some projects, that's my favorite thing to do is build stuff. And the stuff that I have, hopefully have coming up, and some of it has to do with the shop, a new shop being built, and what we're gonna be doing in there. I think you guys are gonna love it, dude. Um, it's gonna knock a bunch of stuff off my list of things. Hello from the UK, 3 a.m. here. Wow. Thanks for stopping by, man. But unfortunately, we wrapping this up. Thank you guys all for coming by. I know it's a tight 2 hours. Originally I was only going to go in here for an hour. My wife's probably pissed. Oh, the copper catcher. Hey, man. Just seeing this. Well, we're about moving out. We're at the end of the stream, but I appreciate you coming by. And I seen you started off your year with a nice trip to the scrap yard, man. That was a nice little haul. Keep hustling, dude. You got a nice little setup going on over there. But anyway, man, thank you all for stopping by. I got to get out of here, and y'all stay warm, man, because it's cold down here. I got layers on. And have a great weekend. We'll have a video for you in the morning, and a lot of stuff coming up. Yes, I did. You had a really nice one too. Yeah. Yeah, I hope everybody had a good start to the year. With these copper prices, man, it's hard not to have a good start. And then, you know, I'm 5 cents a pound away from $5 a pound. Man, I see it coming in the next week or 2 or month. As long as it doesn't creep down, it's been steady rising. Maybe next week, maybe I can just talk to the guy. I'm like, come on, man, let me get that 5. So, yeah, that's gonna be it, man. I got to get out of here. Thank you guys for coming by. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next live, and you guys will have a video hopefully first thing in the morning. So, on that note, y'all have a good night, and I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for the 47, 50,000. Here we come, and then off to 100. That's the goal. All right, guys. Have a good night.